Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Off the Balcony podcast.
Let me start by saying, nothing hits better than a ballpark beer.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to do an advertisement or anything, but a ballpark beer, that's America, baby. That's America right there.
Even if you spill it on yourself.
Listen, I was really into that fight, okay? If I had been drinking during, watching an episode of Demon Slayer, you bet it would have looked like that I pissed myself, okay? If I had a ballpark beer in my lap.
I just thought that was the side effects of dementia.
Well, I mean, yes and no, but nice.
So go ahead and throw some things we don't need for the podcast at my acoustic guitar. That's bad. That's fine.
Okay, so let's just say that we had a very, very fun night out tonight.
Woo!
We went to go watch a wrestling show hosted by Iron Spirit Pro Wrestling.
Shout out to them, always love them.
Yeah, we've been hanging out here for a little while after that show just to kind of collect our thoughts, and I think that,
collect our thoughts, all we've been doing is putting beer in the fridge.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's important to do that because, I don't know about y'all, but that was one of the funner shows of Iron Spirit Pro.
More fun.
Yeah, that we've been to in a long, long time.
Oh yeah, it was like an open air and everything, and I got roasted by one of the heels. So.
Yeah,
the very first match, the very first guy that came out just targeted you.
Yeah, and the heel then got his ass kicked by our boy
12 Gauge!
Won his first match as far as
we've seen.
Yeah, as far as we've seen, it was awesome. He did great.
He won because he's the other two in the front were his boomstick shirt.
Yeah.
I think that's why we were targeted, because we were wearing his opponent's merch, which
he didn't target me.
Because you're a woman, that would be bad taste.
You were staring at him while drinking a beer. I think he targeted you for that.
Yeah. I mean, all three of us were drinking beer. Hannah was not, because I don't know why.
I saw the options there and didn't really feel like them.
You could have gotten a ballpark margarita.
No, that's shooting the dice on anything.
I would have liked to have tried a ballpark margarita.
You know what? I want the ballpark jungle juice. We should not have been doing that.
Oh boy, you're playing with the atom bomb right there.
Wait, I was that because I made him laugh when I take a drink. Would you want the airport jungle juice or the ballpark jungle juice? What's your picking?
Okay, so airport jungle juice is going to be higher end because just of all...
Bullshit, you're talking to an ex-airport employee. Bullshit.
No, are we talking local municipal airport? Or are we talking O'Hare or Heathrow?
It doesn't matter what type it is. It's going to be 98% ice anyway.
Well, yeah, but it's there are higher end clients coming through. Well,
it doesn't matter what type of clientele you got. You could be a dumbass in sweatpants and you still get the same beer.
When I was a child, I almost went to O'Hare almost every year of my life. There are no classy people. There are there are those kinds of people at O'Hare.
Okay, so in that case...
If you're looking for class, go to Midway.
Okay. I'll take the ballpark jungle juice then, because I feel like I could work better with that.
I'll take the Central Illinois Airport jungle juice, because I know that's going to be fire.
I mean...
A lot of people down there get, fireballs and Jägermeister shots. There's just going to be fire and Jaeger in the same pot.
Yeah.
Black out and be good.
Fuck. When you said that about the ballpark jungle juice...
Hannah, how would you rate the Arizona jungle juice?
She's doing the thing.
doing a think and the drink. So for the wrestling show, the first match was 12 Gauge
versus some guy in a cowboy hat whose name I cannot remember.
He's part of the Nasty Hearts.
Which is the most stupid name.
Which, my guys, if you're listening to this, workshop that name a bit.
Yeah, you guys sound like Care Bear villains. But 12 Gauge won. We were very happy. We were kind of hoping to...
I have to shout out 12 Gauge's sister, Mia, who, first of all, did art for our podcast banners, and also just either yesterday or the day before, it was Best Friends Day, and she put me down as one of her friends on her
Aw.
Instagram story.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Now I must
the rest of us
now
are
I must
putting their own
die.
boots.
I must die for her and her entire family now.
Well, there you go. Hey, what if 12 Gauge says, "Hey, I need a tag team partner"? Are you gonna?
Look at my skinny ass arms. I would die.
Well, good
Yeah,
point.
we'll just pick you then.
All right, I'll fight in her stead. The match after that was Xavier Sky versus
Luchador.
Luchador. That was a good match.
That was-
Xavier
Yeah.
Sky
So
always
Man, I love
tears
the
it up.
I love when the acrobats go against each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of hard to follow for me because everybody was just rolling around everywhere.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean Xavier Sky's a good
Yeah, it was more
fighter
like a
and everything.
Beyblade match.
It's Beyblade!
He's a good fighter and everything. They're both very acrobatic, very skilled. It's just, sometimes it's hard to follow. But it was a good match, and I really enjoyed watching it. The third match was between, I can't even remember the guys' names. It was a good match, but it was like...
Between one of the low lives.
Oh yeah, Low Life and the I know it's oh god, was it? I know it's like 12 Gauge. You know, the guy is like a tag team. I can't remember the other guy's name.
Yeah.
I just call him Ilstu because he's repping the local college.
Yeah, and with that, I just remember my only out-of-pocket wrestling moment was because one of the guys from the Low Lives is from Clinton, and I was like, imagine thinking being from Clinton is a flex, and.
Yeah, Wade and I were just ragging on him for being from
I mean,
Clinton.
we had quite a few ballpark beers at that point, so...
No, I had a few. Wade spilled one on himself.
Yeah, well, okay. It was
You absorbed one.
Look, it was during the 12 Gauge match. I was really excited.
I can tell. Our boy, I think that's the first time I've seen him win.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think that's the
yeah,
first time he's
yeah.
ever won for at least since we've been going.
At least for this circuit, because I know he plays on several different circuits. His dad told me as much, but
Guess now that there's more new guys there, they can finally let him start winning.
so yeah, we had a and then the final match of that night was good CJ versus
Sean
Sean
Galloway.
Galloway fight. That was a good fight.
I should have shouted Chucky Outlaw a little bit more than I did, but I was trying to also make black and tan jokes. So.
The
Hey,
thing,
this was a family event, so...
hey,
I don't think any of the kids would have gotten it anyway.
yeah, but the funny thing is, Sean Galloway, one of his things is he likes to play with money quite a bit, and then when he got knocked out, all the money flew out, and all the kids got to run out and
Grab
pick it,
fives and tens.
yeah, pick it up, and that was good for the kids. It was fun for the kids.
I mean, if he really wanted to keep up the Irish motif, maybe he should have been playing with gold coins or something.
Should have had a car bomb.
Oh, all right. So that's the tone of this podcast. Hey,
And she leave me hanging, apparently.
Yeah.
There you go.
So yeah, final thoughts on the Corn Crib match. Great match. Had a lot of fun. I hope they come back sometime soon. I don't know how likely that's going to be because it looks like their summer schedule is pretty well booked.
Maybe we can get to the saloon if we're not
Yeah,
too busy.
we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the saloon, but yeah, great time at the wrestling match. And I guess with that, we'll move into our most famous segment from this podcast.
Our little
Anime roundup.
anime roundup.
Yeah, Anime Roundup. Woo!
So this is probably gonna be the last time you hear my voice for a long while because we did.
Well,
most of the stuff happened when I was at work.
okay, but the main show that we watched, you saw all.
Oh
of.
yeah, I guess we can just start with that.
Yeah,
So-
I think it's only been like a week or two since we last recorded, so we don't have that many shows to talk about as opposed to most of the other times we've recorded.
So for the main anime picks,
It was just your pick.
yeah, it was just my pick, and I picked just because I wanted something lighter and fluffier.
And one of us hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, and Steven hadn't seen it yet.
Gee, thanks. It's gonna name me right there.
Well, but you love the show now. Nichijou. We watched Nichijou, and Hannah,
Yeah,
I know you
one
guys...
of the best comedy animes.
Yes. Very good comedy anime.
Basically, slice of life on crack.
Yeah, the show is completely out of pocket.
Yeah.
There's a robot girl who was built by a kindergartner, who's best friends with a cat that can talk.
The main trio is like one idiot but sincere girl, one overly emotional girl who has, let's just say, some degenerate tastes, and the silent but badass one.
Yeah.
The degenerate taste he's talking about is she draws yaoi.
Yeah.
Yeah, which that's...
And that was a funny moment, though. That, like, when she finds
the cop found her porn.
Yeah, the cop found... And she immediately, like...
Laid his ass out.
That was...
She immediately went a cab.
That was on site. as soon as that got revealed. And if you see Nichijou, you know what we're talking about, because it was hilarious.
Yeah,
because
I think that's the most out of pocket comedy I've ever seen ever since I showed these guys Aho Girl.
Aho Girl was great. Aho Girl was... If you haven't seen Aho Girl, that was...
Do it.
How would you describe it, Steve? Well, you showed us it.
I did show you this. So take Nichijou, but just add like 7,000 more sexual references.
Everybody is horrible.
Everybody is horrible. Everybody is just horny and or just weird.
Except the dog.
The dog had a great hero arc.
The dog is great. Akun is my favorite character. We
Oh,
love
the one,
Akun.
the guy that every...
The guy that just decks out the girl because she's just being way too stupid. Yeah, absolute Sigma male energy.
My favorite character from a humor standpoint was the mom.
Oh, yeah.
The mom who had, like, weird panty snatching powers.
It was almost magic with how much panty she grabbed.
I mean, she had, like, the dead anime mom haircut, the ponytail, and...
That was, like, the funniest part when I first showed you guys that. You guys saw the dead anime mom hair, and you guys were like, oh no. I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Episode...
Then by the end of it, you wish she was dead.
Yeah, episode 1 was like, oh no, she's gonna die. Episode 11, how much longer? But yeah.
Circling back to Nichijou. Hey, we circled back to something.
Yeah.
Yay.
But Nichijou was a very, very good comedy. I loved it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it because, well, I mean,
I also now know the context of a lot of memes that I've been seeing.
Because
so there you go.
if you haven't seen Nichijou, first of all, if you haven't seen Nichijou, your first assignment is go watch Nichijou because it's such a good anime. But if you
2 seasons of fun.
Yeah, it just pure, unadulterated fun and funny and weird, bizarre adventures. But in any case, if you have seen Nichijou, then you are likely aware of how much of a meme farm it is because there are just so many GIFs and screenshots and clips.
I think the most
very memeable show.
Yeah, very memeable.
The most popular stuff is when the 2 girls get bitten by the dogs.
Yeah.
Just those blasts of screams.
And they end up, like, nuking the earth.
Yeah. I also remember when, around near the end of 2019, and when the decade was ending, people kept posting the melon bread jokes that it was about to be outdated.
Oh, yeah. which makes sense, because you were saying that, like, as we were watching it, it was like, why would it be outdated? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
201...
Yeah, with the last number cut off, it's just staring at the bread, wondering.
Yeah.
If you watch it now, that bread's definitely gone.
Yeah. So what ranking would you guys give Nichijou?
I gave it an S tier because just the chill vibe of it was good.
I did too. S tier as well.
A tier.
S tier.
Okay. That's,
High rankings, it's all good.
Yeah. Really love the show. Who's your guys' favorite characters?
Nano.
Nano.
Yeah,
That's how Hakase says Nano's.
Yuko.
Yuko's good. Very kind of what's in there Japanese like.
No, she's the Boku, which means
Bokeh,
which means dumb but lovable.
Yes, that's a perfect way to describe Yuko. Why did you get me mackerel? That's what you asked for. I asked for fried macaroni.
No, I couldn't pick a favorite character. They were all nice and fun for me.
Okay,
Everyone brought their own good to the table.
Yeah, I mean it's one of those shows where picking a favorite character is like really hard because every character, like I could see every character being someone's favorite. Like,
I mean, hindsight, we should have started our podcast as Segamat Pagi.
Segamat Pagi. What does that mean? They haven't noticed my Malaysian.
It's alright though. I think we were just hyped from the wrestling show we just came back from.
Yeah, I mean
that was pretty hype.
It was pretty hype, and I hope they do another show at that corn because outdoor wrestling shows hit different than.
We'll talk about that later. But so anything else from Nichijou from you guys?
I mean, I just really love the show. I think the humor in it is pretty, it's pretty out of pocket, but it's like the characters are super likable. They don't do anything that's really all that bad that it's like, I'm laughing, but it's like you're kind of a piece of garbage. No, everyone's good. Like I said, probably a low S tier for me.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, so we're gonna go back to the first topic we started out with the show about maybe 17 minutes ago, depending on how long we decide to keep the cuts in. But we went to the local semi-pro baseball field for the wrestling show, and we got to hear some of the walk-off music or walk-off music,
yes,
which is a treat. Whopper, 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 whopper. So some guy imagine trying to get to because everyone at these semi-pro tries to get to MLB, but you walk on music, it's the whopper meme.
Yeah. So it's like, you're not this. For anyone who doesn't know, this isn't like AAA ball. This isn't even single A ball. This is like where you're supposed to go if you want to break into the single A division.
This place is where you go if you were on bench for all the years in high school.
Yeah. And you get to basically choose your own walk-on music. And some people choose good walk-on music like Real Slim Shady and which I'm sure I don't mean to demean the fans of this type of baseball. I'm sure it has its fans,
Yeah,
but,
I can tell you the clientele, honestly, from being a local anyway.
Yeah.
The clientele is just a bunch of drunks who decided, oh, hey, it's a baseball game, and I can get the beer for
$6.
Decent beer for $6.
Yeah.
Or a bucket of beer for $30 and just sit there and get completely drunk behind home plate.
Yeah. How many beers do they put in one of those buckets?
Probably 6.
Oh, that's pretty good.
So you get a 6er for 30.
Yeah.
So, $5 a beer.
$40,
I mean, it's not
probably
like
have a good night.
It's not like it's like 10-cent beer night or something.
Yeah.
There's a 10-cent beer night at that place. It's going to be packed enough for the baseball game.
Yeah, that'd be pretty depressing for the team. But some of the players have good walk-on music, like
someone played Barbie Girl. That was funny.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about tonight. They had I heard one person put up Eminem. I heard one person.
Somebody played Funky Town.
Funky Town.
One played Best Day Ever from SpongeBob.
Oh yeah, that was playing as we were walking.
Yeah, which I thought was going to be a Beach Boys song for a second. Because they have the same opening riff of like.
Opening piano riff.
Well, the opening riff of like "Good Vibrations" by the Beach Boys, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're kind of like in a.
And then you hear SpongeBob come in, and you're like, wait a minute.
Who picked this as their walk-on song? It's like, and then as we let the game, sort of play out, we were getting ready for the wrestling show. I suddenly heard
Whopper,
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 Whopper, and I'm like, oh, it must be an ad for the radio station that they're playing this.
And
out
then they announced the player who was at bat. And
He's like, what? My boy, you're trying to get into the big leagues, and your walk-on song is the Burger King Whopper, Whopper, Whopper song. What? Bro, can we get a Goofy in the chat?
Oh, God. So I take it you guys like me showing you all the August the Duck videos then?
Yes.
Those are some charms.
Well, because they're either like,
the sins against humanity or the funniest things you've ever seen in your life.
yeah, we've got like the bad recipe.
Yeah, you got Cooking with Jack cooking with a literal year-old brisket for chili that he served to people at a chili cook-off.
Or a steak that you get at the Dollar Tree.
looks like a soul of like a flip-flop from a kid.
Even the marbling.
The marbling and the fat line looked like a flip-flop.
Which it pains me to even call it marbling, but the marbling in it looked like, like where you're
looked like it's been dry aged for a little bit over a month.
I mean, Jack, this is why you had a stroke and 2 cases of salmonella.
Yeah, you keep...
I think it's been like 2 salmonella cases and 2 strokes.
Ooh. Yeah.
Again, I did not wish you ill towards those times, let's be honest here. But boy, the way you prepare your food, come on. You also eat a lot of red meat and cheese.
Yeah.
Undercooked red meat and cheese.
You bring it upon yourself.
Yeah, basically.
The Buffalo Burger, I get that you want it to be like rare, but you put blue rare. That's not cooked. That's not cooked. That's not cooked, my man. That's just bubble gum and just meat form.
And when August the Duck isn't featuring bad cooks like Jack Scalfani, he's
Roasting TikToks.
He's talking about various podcasts, not like our podcast.
If, for example, like the Whatever podcast and their little blow up after Destiny was on there.
Yeah. God.
Can we get a Goofy in the chat?
Can we get a Goofy in the chat? I hope we never become like those fucking people.
No, I think we're gonna be safe because we're just a fuck around podcast. We don't find out.
Yeah. We can talk about like anime and
we're not debate bros. Don't even invite us for a debate. We'll just come on to debate Schwast. So.
Yeah.
Part of the debate, that's my research. I just get shit faced for about a week.
We are master debaters, so
Don't invite me to a serious, heated debate. I will start crying.
Yeah, please don't bully me. I'll come. We are 23 minutes into this. I can say shit like that.
By the way, there was a guy at the wrestling show who had a shirt that said country music sucks, which we had some person's walk-on song was this is how, or not this is how we roll. Was that song by Cruise by Florida Georgia Line?
Oh yeah, that was like the very first match too.
Yeah, it was around the first match, but
was it the cowboy guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which he got his ass rightfully beaten by our man 12 gauge.
Yeah, that was obviously a lot of fun. But,
yeah, it was great. We're gonna avoid looping on that for a little bit. But other than that, to continue our little section of what we watched in anime, even though we kind of just bounced back to wrestling and everything else and out of pocket shit. You 3 watched some movies while I was trying to earn some money for rent.
Yeah. You were trying to earn some money. You were trying to work, but your boss wouldn't let you.
Well, it's not that my boss didn't want us to. My boss probably wanted me to work. It's just that
they didn't have.
U of I said no.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's not that they said no. It's that they went down to a skeleton cruise for the summer and everything started to turn into a shitwave.
Which is expected, but it's like for a project like this, you'd expect some bigger support. But anyway,
The fun part is we're only supposed to hire 6 interns and we hired 7, so this is gonna be fun for us.
All right. Well, for what Steven's referring to is we had a movie day a couple days ago, and we watched a few anime films. They were
First Squad Moment of Truth.
Inu-Oh.
Inu-Oh.
Yeah. And my pick was My Neighbors the Yamadas. And why don't you guys give your thoughts on each of the movies that you picked,
Here,
and then
can let you talk about First Squad first since that was your pick.
Okay, let me. First Squad, for those of you who don't know, is basically kind of a fantasy, fantasy war movie about some spirit warfare during the Eastern Front during World War II. And you guys know that one meme about like people who are into history but not weird about it. This is for the opposite. It's like people who are weird about history. It has everything you want in a in this kind of movie. You got the Eastern Front during the World War II. You got Nazi occult experiments. You got like the might of the Soviet Union crushing the fascist invader. And you got like a lolly fighting a spirit war against the spirit of an ancient medieval German knight that's supposed to invoke the battle on ice against Alexander Nevsky. So like it's got everything. Even though it has some issues, it just got my blood boiling. And this movie is basically prime Sabaton AMV material, like into the fatherland, the German army marched.
Yeah.
Didn't you say that's how you found out about this movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This movie is also a Japanese-Russian collaboration, and I know there is an English dub of it, but the version we watched was the original that was actually in Russian.
Which, to be honest, I think this movie is played on repeat in Vladimir Putin's office. So
okay, so I've had a lot of thoughts about First Squad because when I watched it, it was probably, even though I don't think it was the best thing that we watched that day, I do think it was the most interesting thing that we watched, and I was trying to find a similar parallel to it, and the closest thing that I could find was the Zack Snyder film Sucker Punch. And rewatching Sucker Punch, I actually found a lot of similarities between that movie and First Squad. There's actually like the main protagonist is a blonde-haired teenager who wields a samurai sword. There's a lot of weird like time skips, and you're not really sure what's real and what's like reality and unreality. There's a lot of imagery from the World Wars. I mean, in Sucker Punch, there's a whole like interlude where it's set during World War I, even though it looks like a mashup of both World Wars. And I mean, in reviewing both movies, the conclusion I came to was like, okay, both movies aren't the greatest. I mean, I would probably rank them about at like a B tier. It's where I put First Squad, and I'd probably put Sucker Punch in a B tier. The thing is, with both, I can tell that the person who made it, wow, this person really, really, really believed in this. You know what I mean? Like, someone really thought that they were telling like a really deep, profound story about, and not even like in a pretentious way, like, oh, I'm gonna explode. No, like they really believed like this was gonna be a great story and tried to do the story justice. Zack Snyder obviously had the resources to make a really stylized, slickly produced film. And this group of Russian filmmakers for First Squad was able to get a really good anime studio behind them to make, First Squad be what it is. My problem with First Squad is that it just feels incomplete. Like a lot of the things, this could have been something magical. This could have been something like Hellsing, the next Hellsing Ultimate. It doesn't go far enough with its crazy ideas.
I mean, if anything, another problem is that it just kind of repeats itself at times. It just...
Yeah. Well, something I want to say about it is that the Well, the structure of First Squad is that it kind of feels like one of those fake History Channel documentaries where it's like some of it's like, fake interviews with people that you kept Googling them during it and they probably don't exist.
Yeah,
so
they don't
it's
exist.
like fake documentary, and it's like half of it's that and half of it's Russian anime. But yeah, it reminds you of like Ancient Aliens and other fake History Channel documentaries and stuff. But,
and
like Cleopatra.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, the animation for First Squad is really, really good. Like, the animation is really beautiful, and the character designs are good. I even joked that they look like rejected Attack on Titan character designs. And the concepts and ideas that they put forward are good. It's just, they can't really do that much with them in an hour and 20-minute movie, which is how long First Squad is. I feel like had they been allowed to do maybe not even a 12-episode anime, but maybe like that one Gundam show, War in the Pocket. If they had done like a 6-episode OVA series, they might have been able to do something like really special and magical with it. But as it stands, I respect what they tried to do. It's just they couldn't really stick the landing.
Like they probably could have cut out some of the documentary bits because it felt like the characters would talk about something and then the documentary things would just come up and feels like they pretty much just repeated what the characters just said.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I think that the documentary could have been a more clever framing device, like maybe a bit of unreliable narrator, maybe add some more context that wouldn't feel natural if the characters were explaining it, or talk about the actual history of the event, like.
Yeah, because as far as I can tell, First Squad is set during the Battle of Moscow, like towards the end of the Battle of Moscow in early 1942, when they finally pushed back the Germans from the gates of Moscow.
Now that I mention it, when some of the movies' themes touch on that, like the actual Battle of Moscow was a turning point in the Eastern Front, that if the Germans won, they would have dealt a decisive blow to the Soviet Union, but since the Red Army won, they were able to begin their counterattacks.
But not exactly true, because at that point, the Germans were really trying to hunt for oil rather than try to get Moscow.
Well, yeah, but...
So they had to go to Stalingrad. Still kind of happened up that Stalingrad had Stalin's name on it.
I see what you mean, but capturing Moscow would have been a huge, at least symbolic victory for the Germans. Like, the Soviet Union's capital, now bearing the swastika flag over something like St. Basil's Cathedral, or...
Yeah, for sure. But the thing is, none of that matters because the magical German demon knights weren't able to do what they were supposed to do. It's a very weird anime, Steven, but...
all I heard is that it repeats itself, and I just kept thinking of us, so...
Yeah! I mean, it takes one to know one. So for First Squad, A for effort, but in the end, gave it a B tier. Hannah, what about you?
Yeah, B tier.
Jan?
B tier.
Yeah. It's unfortunate because it really had potential to be something great. And like I said, I compared it to Zack Snyder's Sucker Punch. Definitely something that the creators believed in. It's just they couldn't make their full vision come to full fruition. Or, maybe their original vision wasn't that great to begin with. We may never know, but... the next movie that we watched that day was...
That's my pick.
Yeah, it was your pick, Inu-Oh, which, I gotta say, I was blown away by how good that movie was.
Yeah, I only got that DVD because I found it at Walmart a few weeks ago, and...
all good.
The Wally World pick comes in the clutch.
Yeah. I just went over to the DVD section and just saw a Masaki Yuasa movie I had never seen, and I liked... one of his movies, Night a Short Walk On Girl, and an anime he's made called Keep Your Hands Off Azakin, so I just figured he hasn't missed on anything I've seen from him.
Right,
so.
right.
And Inu-Oh was a movie he made in 2021, so very recent.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, the plot of that is, like, ancient Japan. There's well, first of all, this movie is pretty much Dororo if Dororo and Hyakimaru formed a hair metal band.
Yeah, and I like that aspect about it, that they had like all these ancient Japanese kind of folk tales and songs like reworked to be like big power ballads in rock music. It was a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, basically the plot of it is that there's some very fucked up baby gets born and names himself Dog King, which is what Inu-Oh means, and then meets this other kid named Tomona that gets blinded by some weird sword as a kid and ends up joining a group of blind biwa players, and so they just meet each other and pretty much just turns into a rock biopic.
Yeah, and I really loved the music in it. I thought the music was really...
Yeah, I just wish Tomona knew more than one riff.
Yeah, I mean...
You get your one, and that's it.
You get one!
That one song was just too good.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the music in it. It's what, like, hooked me into the story of the characters. I'm glad that you showed us it. I don't really have any complaints with it. I gave it an A tier, but like, I don't really have that much to say about it because it was like just.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah, it spoke for itself.
Yeah, I don't really have any like. I wish they had done this better. No, it's like, it's good. It's a really really good music anime film, and Jan, I don't know what you thought about it.
I mean, basically everything you just said. The music was awesome, but it kind of took me a bit to get into it. But it's kind of a cool, like, it feels like a Japanese folk tale. So
yeah, for sure. And I to reiterate, I gave it an A tier. Jan, what did you give it?
A tier. Yeah.
Hannah, what did you?
Yep, high A tier.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really fun show to watch, or a real fun movie to watch. I don't really have any, like, yeah, it's at A tier, but I don't really have any, like, well, I wish they had done. No, it's like, it is what it is, and I think it's really well done as is. And then the final movie that we watched that night was My Neighbors the Yamadas.
Which is a Studio Ghibli movie we hadn't seen yet.
Yeah, it was directed by Isao Takahata, who made
Tale of Princess Kaguya.
Tale of Princess Kaguya, Grave of the Fireflies, and Pompoko, which are all movies that we've seen before.
So he knows how to hit us in the dick.
And I haven't seen Grave of the Fireflies, and I don't plan to.
You should, though.
I mean, it's a really good movie, but I understand your, like...
aversion to it.
Yeah, aversion to it. But I know you've seen Pompoko, and I know you've seen Princess Kaguya.
Because you watched me watch them.
Yeah, and then right after...
Pompoko was really more the weed experience, wasn't it?
Yeah, but with Princess Kaguya, I just have to circle back to it because it's one of our favorite stories. One of my favorite stories of us watching anime together. Jan showed us Tale of Princess Kaguya, and Hannah showed us Promare. So with Tale of Princess Kaguya, it's like this really sad story about this girl who basically gets taken back by the moon.
Because she wanted to run away and wanted to know what her grandma was talking about when she said, I've been to that blue orb in the sky because they're from the moon.
Yeah, and then in Promare, it's like they basically kind of blow up.
Studio Trigger things.
Yeah, they do Studio Trigger things in the sky.
The very first show, everybody ranked S tier from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean...
I've been in this club for like 2 years.
Hey,
it's gonna be 3 this year.
And yet I spent that shit in 4 months.
With canon. But the thing about... But that was the funny thing with Princess Kaguya. Like, oh man, The moon stole Kaya. Oh, holy shit! We're getting her back, baby! Blow that shit up!
Not on this firefighter's watch.
Not on this firefighter. I'm gonna blow the moon.
If you want to know what Promare feels like, it feels like... If you know what it feels, how good it feels to be alive and punch the person you dislike the most, then that's the feeling of Promare.
And what we all felt like after watching Promare.
I'm gonna piss on the moon!
Watch me, Obama! I'm pissing
On the moon, you idiot!
Oh, those Sonic Live dubs are...
Yeah.
Oh, okay, let's circle back to My Neighbors the Yamadas. And, guys...
Oh, right. Because
yeah,
we were talking about Takahata.
and,
Rest in peace.
F in the chat for a legend.
Yeah.
So here's my initial thoughts on My Neighbors the Yamada. If you like classic sitcoms like Everybody Loves Raymond, King of the Hill...
Yeah, and literally the first gag in that show is that they left their daughter at the mall.
Yeah. And that was how I knew it was going
It's
to be
like, why can't you guys be quiet like Nonoka? Nonoka's not here.
Yeah. And the funny thing, two funny things. The first one is that apparently around the time that they made My Neighbors the Yamadas, Nonoka, the daughter in that, started to take over.
Yeah, that's... I think one of the reasons I wanted to watch this was, Shifrillis did that one video of ranking all of the Studio Ghibli movies, and I think this one was either in the middle or kind of high in the ranking.
Middle, upper middle.
Yeah, and it's and one of the things he brought up in that was that people were complaining that the youngest one, Nonoka, was barely in the movie, but it turns out that apparently she was so popular in Japan that eventually they just retired the name My Neighbors the Yamadas and changed the title of the manga to Nono-chan.
Yeah, and the thing is, a couple of years after the Takahata movie came out, there was a full-blown Nonoka TV show where Nonoka was
it's just her.
Was the main character. I mean, the other family members were in it. It was just Nonoka was the main character.
If I'm going to be perfectly blunt, I can see. The little girl was charming, but the other family was hilarious.
Yeah, the family was great.
Yeah, the son was hilarious. Voiced by the boy from Spy Kids.
Yeah, Juni Cortez.
and the dad was voiced by none other than Jim Belushi. Which, little fun fact, I come from DuPage County, which is west of Chicago, and he and his brother, the more famous John Belushi, went to the community college I attended, and there's even a center named after him in College of DuPage, the Belushi Center. So
the Animal House.
I wish. No, that's cool though. That's cool. Speaking of Animal House, when I heard that Jim Belushi was in this movie, I wish that it had flashed back to the dad's college days, and you just saw him swinging a whole bottle of some Japanese liquor. Your tongue's yellow, by the way.
I think you're not chicken screwdriver.
And but yeah, the English cast, as is with pretty much all Ghibli films, is great. Not just is Jim Belushi in it, and the kid from Spy Kids is in it.
And Nono-chan was Panini from Chowder.
Yeah, Panini Chowder!
And the grandma was
Tress MacNeille, who has been in everything, including The Simpsons, as Principal Skinner's
mother.
Mom.
Yeah.
The one who was quiet, fatso! The sergeant's talking! And was also Hama from Avatar.
Yeah.
And she's been in a bunch of Ghibli stuff before. I just remember her name from The Simpsons, written in
She's
it.
been pretty much every cartoon ever.
Yeah. You've heard her before. Even if you don't know the name, you've heard her before. And the mom of My Neighbors the Yamadas was played by none other than Molly Shannon, who was a big-time SNL cast member. She was in Wet Hot American Summer, Talladega Nights, Ballad of Ricky Bobby, just all kinds of different movies, comedy movies. And the whole cast is great. I really like the whole band. I agree with you, like, that it's kind of a shame that... I mean, I like Nonoka a lot. In fact, there's a really cute moment with Nonoka that I want to talk about later. But, like, the whole family is great. Why couldn't they just keep it as My Neighbors the Yamadas? I mean, the whole family is all just add more of Nonoka. I can't even remember for life.
I mean, yeah, like, even with, like, The Simpsons, like, Bart Simpson blew up as the biggest character, but they still kept it The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Didn't turn into the Bart Show.
Yeah, that's a good point. They didn't do that with The Simpsons. Why'd they have to do it with the...
Which, good on my end, because if I'll be perfectly honest, Homer Simpson is my favorite of the Simpsons.
Homer's great. Homer's awesome. I mean, not always a great person, but like a really funny character. And here's the thing. I actually like the jerk-ass Homer era from like season 8 to season 11. Just because of, there was some pretty funny stuff. And I liked Homer's enemy.
And also, controversial Simpsons opinion. I liked the principal and the pauper, the episode, which, spoiler.
The one with Armin Tanzarian.
Everybody says is the moment the Simpsons died.
Yeah, I thought
it was an okay episode.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it like the
people
moment the show
out there
died.
that actually care for the continuity of a cartoon.
Yeah, it's the Simpsons, my guys.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to really get hung up on.
I mean, at least this isn't like a kid's show, because then we have Quentin reviews. We're just doing a 5-hour video on it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, it's not anything to get really all that worked up about. It's like, look, it's a bit. It's The Simpsons. Everything's going to be set back. Technically, like, The Simpsons should still be taking place in, like, 1990 or 1989, because that's the age of the characters when the show started. You know what I mean? Bart's still 10, which means he would have been born in 1979.
Actually, you want to know how old The Simpsons is now? It started in the late 80s, and now there's literally an episode in recent episodes where Homer and Marge were teenagers in the late 90s.
Yeah, I saw that, and that was like, holy hell, guys. How much longer can we go with this?
How much longer can the TV show keep it afloat?
How much longer is it profitable?
I mean, let's be real here. Dan Castellaneta likes to get paid, so he'll be probably doing Homer.
Well, I don't blame any of them for wanting.
Yeah, he'll be doing Homer. He'll also be voicing the genie in any Kingdom Hearts series that he decides to touch.
Is he the genie in Kingdom Hearts?
He's a discount Robin Williams. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he was also the genie in Return of Jafar and the Aladdin TV series. So.
No, I know he was in the Aladdin TV series. I just didn't know if they had him for Kingdom Hearts.
Well, I think they did, yeah.
Well, do you think that Kingdom Hearts would be able to have the money to get Robin Williams?
They got James Woods.
Yeah, but James Woods...
Wait, hold up. James Woods
the fun fact about Kingdom Hearts is that most of the Disney villains, like Disney characters, have their original voices.
No shit. So James Woods is in Kingdom Hearts?
Hades.
Holy fuck.
Which the thing about James Woods is that he will reprise Hades even if he's being paid like a nickel for it, because he
loves that character, yeah.
Well, good. That's awesome to hear. But...
It wasn't until recently I knew James Woods was a real person. I just thought Family Guy made him up.
This is like the third time we caught Wade drinking and just made him go for a gutbuster.
I'm sorry. I don't even know how to respond to that.
This is why we don't like Zoomers.
I mean, Hannah, Salvador, Once Upon a Time in America...
Contact! One of the greatest movies ever. Contact.
God, we're
by Robert Zemeckis, Jodie Foster, Matthew McConaughey.
No.
Okay.
We are peeking the absolute fuck out of this show.
You know what? We're having fun. So, let's just have fun.
Actually, one of these days I do actually finally want to get around to watching Salvador, if you've ever seen that movie.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not my favorite, but yeah, it's a good movie. Fuck, what were you talking about? My Neighbors the Yamadas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which we spiraled off into talking about The Simpsons.
Which also James Woods is considered to be the best celebrity cameo of The Simpsons. So
Aren't we talking about My Neighbors?
Oh,
the Yamadas?
yes.
Okay. Jesus.
No.
A minute.
Okay, so in The Simpsons, real quick, I'm gonna dovetail off this real quick. So in The Simpsons,
we haven't done that shit like for
James
fucking
Woods,
hours.
hold up! James Woods takes over the Quickie Mart in The Simpsons season 5, okay? And it was a great cameo. He almost took a bullet for Apu took a bullet for James Woods, and it was a great episode. And
Siri, can you play the recorded version of My Heart Will Go On?
All right, give me that bottle. I'll pour you a shot.
All right. So I'm gonna just kind of fast track this because I think we kind of. I'm not sure if you guys are done talking about My Neighbor the Yamadas, but
I gave it either a low S tier or a high A tier.
I give it an A tier.
Yeah, A tier.
It's a really fun, cute comedy. I really liked all the characters. I get why Nonoka kind of took over the manga because she's very, very cute. You remember that moment where they get her out of the bamboo stalk?
Yeah.
Which, foreshadowing, what's his name?
Takahata.
Takahata's final movie.
Yeah, it kind of referenced the Legend of the Bamboo Cutter, which is where Kaguya-san comes from, is referenced in that movie. But yeah, we had a really good time watching that. James Woods is not in that movie, so don't worry about that.
At least we have the boy from Spy Kids.
We do have the boy from Spy Kids.
Do you think God stays in heaven because he too fears what he created?
That boy.
I know that's Steve Buscemi.
Yep.
We'll have a long conversation about Steve Buscemi. But to answer that question,
hello, fellow kids.
God damn it! Okay, to answer that question, yes. There's your answer. Because what he has created invented podcasting. So
I mean, think of it this way: in the garden of
Gethsemane,
Jesus saw all the sins of the world, including this podcast,
including the whatever podcast.
Okay.
And Jack Scalpani's cooking, and he still decided to be crucified.
Alright, so I'm going to take this little moment, keep whatever you guys have pinned for later. I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping in the middle of the show this time, because
Go for it.
I kind of want to get it earlier and earlier, because I don't think you guys want to wait an hour for us to wrap ourselves here. Alright, so, we love doing this type of content for you guys. If you guys have any... Jesus Christ, Hannah. If you guys love hearing this type of content, fucking hell, drunkards everywhere. We also love doing this content for you guys. If you guys have any topics or panel ideas that you guys want us to look into, please email us at offthebalcony21@gmail.com, and one of the four of us will look at it, we'll discuss it, and then we'll see if we can turn it into a panel. The restoration project is coming along smoothly. Currently I am trying to find out a way to make a 50 or 60-year-old pin come out without me shattering in it, because if I shatter that, I have to get a new carburetor. So if you guys want to help me go for the backup plan, which is a new carburetor, we will have the GoFundMe link in the description below. And you can go ahead and donate to that if you can. I don't want you guys to put yourself into debt to help us out. I appreciate you just sharing it if that's what you guys want to do. But if you guys don't like GoFundMe, please email us at offthebalcony21 to see, let me know that it is for the car, and then we will, and then I will tell you alternative ways to help out with that project. Next up, I may have drunkenly last night gotten us to get our first guest on the podcast, and he's a guy who's been going into these type of things for a while, and we might get to talking to him. However, I do still need to get my get a way to get us, and get everything recorded into one little audio filter while using a voice chat type application. So I will be looking into ways of doing it. It may just be Discord, and oh god, but we should be getting that set up pretty soon. We will try to workshop that as much as we can, but expect a guest in the near future. Anything else you guys can think of?
As far as housekeeping, or
housekeeping or anything else?
I'm gonna try to find different avenues to advertise for our podcast. Look for our banner around comic shops in Chicago, but
yes, Wade has printed off cards with QR codes that have a link to our podcast with a QR code. And again, shout out to Mia for getting that because we just reused the banner for that anyway. So yeah, shout out to her. If you want a commission from her, she is looking for commissions to make some art. Strawberry Straight Edge on Instagram if you want to find her and get her art, I guess.
Yeah.
But with that, we are going to jump back into our normal programming. And kind of want to talk about, since we're doing more stuff looking to the future, I kind of want to bring our sights to said future and talk about the panels, because our con sprint for the summer is about to start in less than a month.
Woo!
As of recording.
Woo!
So, so Midwest, we can probably give a broad overview for that if we really want to.
Yeah. Why don't we focus on Midwest, because I know the panels that we have submitted for that. We've got Anna Music, which is Steven's creation.
In which I may be retiring, not to workshop it a little bit after Midwest.
Yes.
So if you guys want to come up with a final iteration of what I call my car crash, come out and support.
It's a good panel. We've had some good responses to it.
Yeah,
so far. Especially at Zap. I think Zap was your best.
Yes, it
was.
I mean, the only time you actually did screw up a bit, your Anna Music was at Memphis, but you were...
I did get myself shitter shattered before that. I cannot play drunk guitar.
Way fucking drunk.
But for Anna Music, I may sample. I've been making an original song for acoustic guitar, so I may sample that instead of.
Go for it.
Nice.
So we got Anna Music coming up. Me and Jan are doing 2 wrestling panels, which is, important because, we're big wrestling fans. We're doing our main wrestling panel, which is about the history of WWE, and we're also doing a out-of-pocket wrestling panel where we basically go through. It's kind of based off of how Mr. Agitator does his bad music video panels. We're just going through various crazy moments in wrestling history to kind of, show what the sport is like, and just to have a few laughs along the way.
And some quick maths.
Quick maths! That's what you get when you call 3. I can't even do Scott Steiner math.
White trash and rednecks.
We got some fat asses around here. We are having, I would say, probably our best timed panel amongst our stable. Hannah's Love Live panel. Hannah is doing the Love Live panel again.
Yep.
She's going through various bits of
Forgotten Love Live lore.
Yeah, lore that isn't really talked. So you're not gonna get to hear. This was a suggestion I made that Hannah should talk about how Maki is in love with Santa Claus, and would probably honestly kill a solo cover of Santa Baby. But
anyway, I think Maki would sing Santa Baby and genuinely think it was about Santa.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, absolutely. But Hannah's panel is great. It fills out the exact time slot. We've had some real Love Life stands come to Hannah's panel before, even though I thought they were from Voltron, but that's a story for a different time, aka probably 5 minutes.
I think you probably told it when we told our CAD stories.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
Yeah, go consult whenever we talk about CAD for that. But anyway, Hannah's going to be doing her Love Life panel again, so go ahead and catch that if you get a chance to.
And doing our Internet Weirdos one?
We'll save that for last. I'll be doing a Code Geass panel with my girlfriend.
Our collegiate here will be presenting his dissertation
on the alternate
Geass.
history of Code Geass, because I did put in a lot of work for this. This is probably one of the most extensive things I've ever written, and it was for an anime panel that probably 20 people are going to show up for. But
the funny thing is, he wrote a dissertation for a topic that in the time that it takes people to get accepted for topics at colleges.
Yeah. And now I feel like an insane person. So come witness my insanity when me and my girlfriend, who's just going to talk about the robots of Code Geass.
And kind of going back for Love Live a bit, I'm probably going to be going insane sometime later tonight or tomorrow morning because
all right. Can we go through our Love Live panels and then we'll talk about why you're going to go insane?
Okay.
Yeah, we will actually circle back to this. We'll make it.
Yeah, I promise, because I want to hear about Bampy Dancy.
Bampy Dancy better fucking sweep.
Yes, Bampy Dancy sweep. So Code Geass panel, we'll be talking about. We'll have the Internet Insanity panel where we each do lolcows. Some of us are looking more forward to it than others. I can see one person who's not looking forward to it.
So mine was originally going to be all about the lolcow that I have, but due to his very extensive history over the past decade, you hear me right, decade, of being online, I decided to top it down, and the title of my section is going to be called Ralph's Day in Court. If you guys want to hear about that, please come to the panel.
Yes, and he's going to give you a full overview of it. And
the best part about that is the transcript should be up by maybe mid-month. So I can just, because I've already got some gold, I'm probably going to be platinum mining for like a month and a half and dying of laughter for the entire time of it. Here, I just don't see the problem with the corn.
And the other two panels that we'll be doing that month is Waifu Wars, which we've done a bit of retooling for. Not really.
I will be the best showman I can. I'll probably be as drunk as I possibly can be that night.
Yeah, and Sonichu will probably be having a new. We'll be having a new set for that, but don't really expect anything.
Yeah,
all that different.
I kind of want to talk about it a little bit because I know that from people who are very familiar with us that come to that, you guys have a set expectation because, we have usually the same thing every time.
Yeah.
But we're workshopping a little bit of a different idea to see if we can get different sets for different conventions, maybe.
Oh, sure.
And seeing how that works out. So if you guys want to maybe see a change of pace, come check us out.
Yeah, and that's all at Anime Midwest. And to kind of round things out, because we teased a Love Life panel, Hannah has some Love Life news for us to talk about on the pod.
The double L segment.
Yeah. And I just checked the Love Life subreddit, so I don't think the news has come out yet, but either late tonight or definitely by tomorrow morning, the news should be out on Liela's subunit names, and I am not excited for any of them because they all sound awful.
Can we get the list for all the names again? Because I think
Bampy Dancy.
like let's be honest. I know from what Hannah has told us, like a whole bunch of voting stuff has had just goddamn ridiculous.
Have you voted, Hannah?
No, I did not vote for any of them because I am not.
She's a true annoying and just realizes her vote doesn't fucking matter.
I live in America. This is a Japan vote. Japan is like the swing state. And by swing state, like the only state that matters.
It's like you're in Indiana looking at Ohio and going, what in the absolute fuck is going on over there?
Right. So speaking of Love Live, we're starting to decorate our podcasting studio.
Yes, we have 3 posters up instead of just the one. So next on my right, I have Honoka looking over me in what looks like to be
like traditional Japanese robes
and then over
Yeah,
our trash can we
yeah,
have Miko.
I think in the game they call that set the Taisho set, and I think that's supposed to be a Princess Kaguya outfit.
Oh no shit, Princess Kaguya.
Okay, but still, Nico is where she belongs, over the trash can. So completely fine.
Fly.
Hannah may or may not beat me up later. It's good.
Hey,
It's all good.
for the Princess Kaguya set, fly me to the moon so I can kick its fucking ass. I'll show the moon what I learned in my moon jutsu class.
I can
Okay,
trying to find the subunit name list again.
It's okay. Take your time.
I mean,
I have a little bit more of a surprise housekeeping thing. If you guys have more anime that you think we should see and then report on, please also email us at offthebalcony21 at gmail.com because my lists aren't starting to run out. The other 3 or 4 of us may still have like a solid list going, but my list is starting to come up a bit short. So if you guys want to help a brother out, go ahead and do it.
And the stuff that I can't speak for Hannah, but what me and Jan want to watch are kind of older anime. So if you got anything like that's in, that's newer, that's like in the zeitgeist that you want us to give our opinions on, feel free to suggest. And
we do have a ban on Rent a Girlfriend because we are all above the age of 15, and no.
Yeah. I mean, the one good thing I'll say about Rent a Girlfriend is at least the female designs are aesthetically pleasing. Like,
yes, the big tits.
Okay, I think I found the subunit names.
All right.
And back to Hannah for Love Live.
Okay, so Unit A is with Kanon, Sumire, and Mei. We have Kastarm, Kachu, Mary Seeker, Meriorts, Agridaxia, Mupil, Aprisica, and Harain.
Sounds like people got high and started drawing into
Those
cocaine
sound
for
like
names.
George Lucas's names that even George Lucas wouldn't want.
And for Unit B, which is Cuckoo, Ren, and Ween, we have Kaleidoscore, Blaulila, Frappe, Paralia, Q-Coat, Tsukirenka, Trinotes, and Milkarat.
Did we talk about Ween? Did we talk about Ween or?
Yep.
Yeah, probably a few times in passing, but
Wait, Frappe?
Yep.
Like the fucking coffee?
Yep.
So can we just call them the Axis powers real quick? Just
actually, an Austrian member name being after coffee might make a little more sense because according to legend, the first coffee houses in Vienna and in Europe in general were started because after the Battle of Vienna in 1683, the Turks left back huge bags of coffee beans, so they just...
Oh.
So the Austrians took them and just made coffee on their own.
not the beans.
Not the bean. No, that's actually kind of cool. I kind of like that that legend. I do want to say that I recently watched a historical movie about someone who was from Vienna, and apparently there is a neighborhood in Vienna called Margaret.
Oh, they really put no effort into making
Yeah,
a Viennese.
So I was thinking about that, which I shouldn't have because it was a very serious topic that they were covering.
They named her after the country and a place in that country.
Yes, exactly. That's what I think happened because...
Oh wait, no, just 2 cities in the country because
No.
Vienna is not Austria.
A neighborhood in the city, and they just said, okay, it would be like if a character was named, I don't know, Cicero Chicago or something.
Also, coincidentally, Margaret is the name of my mother, so...
Aw. That's lovely.
But moving on a little bit, what's the name? So the last group is what we call the leftovers of the
Yep.
Liela.
Yeah, we got Chisato, Kinako, Shiki, Natsumi, and Natsumi's sister, who
we call Baja Blast.
yeah, she looks like Baja Blast Hatsune Miku.
Yeah.
And
which is a shame, because I really like the characters that are in that. It's Chisato, Kinako.
Yeah, Shiki's probably my favorite of the newer
Shiki's
characters.
Great. Shiki deserved better.
Yeah. And I feel bad for this unit because I feel like they have the most stupid names. Their first one is Tribe, spelled with a Y.
Oh, for God's sake.
Riveting.
Yeah, and Bampy Dancy, which is the one everybody hopes will win because it's just so stupid.
I will be buying some Bampy Dancy singles.
It is about as stupid as having 11 members, so Kanon can be the center for everything again.
Right.
You guys did not leave us with a good impression for Season 2. Come on, writers, you can do better.
Yeah, I am not excited for Season 3. I'm still gonna watch it, but not excited for it.
I'm like a neglected fan for one of the bigger cartoons.
Hey, Hannah, you finally know what us Star Wars fans feel like?
It's hit or miss.
I bet they never.
Oh, shut up!
You whore.
That was a Love Live meme too, technically.
Yeah.
But I'll say this. Season 3, Love Live Superstar, you never know. The writer's room might bounce back.
Yeah, they might remember there's more characters this time.
Yeah. And the one motherfucker who just keeps just cranking his yank to Kanon might get fired, and we might be able to get a real series underway. Because seriously, Season 1, they knew how to write fucking characters. They knew how to give these characters arc. They knew how to make them interesting. And then Season 2, it's just Kanon fixes everything. Kanon parachutes to Hokkaido to fix
Natsumi's problem.
Yeah, Natsumi's problems. And gives none of the other characters.
I mean, you know what Canon and I have in common?
What?
We could fix most girls.
What? What?
Data will be found later, maybe. I'm not sure.
Anyway, there's more subunit names here. I've only gone through 2 of Unit C.
Okay, so after everyone's favorite Bambi Dancy, what are the other ones?
Synchronize, but both of the S's are 5s.
That's not how that works!
Fucking dead mouse ass type
They should have said, fuck it, we're gonna do 2 S's. We're gonna be the SS.
I mean, that was one of Aqua's potential names.
Yeah, we can't do
SS apostrophe S.
thing.
I still, to this day, have no idea how that was supposed to be pronounced.
Shh. Alright.
Anyway, we have the next one on...
Anyway, keep going.
The next one on the list is Candy Fountain! Exclamation points.
Okay, that one's not
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Yeah, it just reminds me of Marvelous Misadventures of Flapjack.
or Charlie the Unicorn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one is Quintethum, then Mimi Least.
I think it's supposed to be minimalist, but they can't spell.
Yeah. And Sinkatra.
What?
I don't know either.
Is that a Thailand name or something?
Or like Sinatra or something.
Cinquatre.
Or cilantro or something.
It's like,
Okay.
I know English is hard, but you guys are making it harder unnecessarily.
And the last one is probably one that seems to me most like something a real group would be named as Step Up, but the S is a 5.
That's already a movie series.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Actually, Step Up with a 5 is so the 5 is the S. That's how Step Up 5 should be promoted. If the Step Up series was even remotely it hasn't been relevant since like 2012, so I guess that
I don't even know, man. But
did you guys not watch the Step Up series at all?
No,
No.
no. The only movies that I watched that were like that, I was forced to watch, which was the Leonardo DiCaprio version of Romeo and Juliet. That little fucking
that movie is
that movie's kind of cool though. I like that movie.
Yes, I love hearing people quote Shakespeare while unloading knives at everyone.
Yeah,
that's what made it cool.
Yeah, and cars that look like they came out of Rice Central. Jesus Christ.
Okay, the cars did kind of look like trash. I'm not gonna lie, but
they took a neon and made it look like a current day Challenger. I'm not sure how the hell they did that anyway.
I mean, Leo. It's the role that got Leo onto the Titanic, which he later died on.
What was the girl who played Juliet in that movie?
Claire Danes.
Well, Claire Danes played not Ashitaka, but
San
from Princess Mononoke, and Leo almost played Ashitaka in Princess Mononoke.
That would have been awesome. And God, I would have loved to have seen that. Like Rick Dalton playing Ashitaka. I'm here playing this Japanese warrior.
I mean, they got Billy Bob Thornton, who only agreed because he thought it was going to be a kids movie.
God damn it. And I love Billy Bob Thornton, don't get me wrong. That was around the time he was married to Angelina Jolie, and they carried around like vials of each other's blood and shit.
Man, celebrities are fucking weird, aren't they?
I know.
I mean, maybe QAnon was onto something, so...
Okay, but yeah, so that's all the Love Live news that we've got.
If you have, be with us and go for Bampy Dancy Supremacy.
Yes, if you're listening to us, vote for Bampy Dancy, so we can shout Bampy Dancy when we're drunk in hotel ballrooms.
We hope by the time we upload this, we won't be have pie in our faces, but they're all stupid names anyway, so who really cares?
Yeah, it's like they really fucked you if you're a Love Live fan.
And none of these names are good. That's probably why they had to extend the name submission.
When does the voting period end?
They're doing a live stream I think it's going to be either late tonight or tomorrow in Japanese time.
Okay.
So,
they're
doing a live stream where they're going to reveal the subunit names and the voice actors for the Natsumi's sister.
Okay.
The Baja Blast girl.
Nice. Who kind of looks like that chick from Demon Slayer, Mitsuri.
Oh, speaking of Demon Slayer, apparently that's supposed to be wrapping up pretty soon.
Yeah, that's what Jan was telling me.
Like 2 more episodes in. Maybe that'll be another club night for us.
That would be a fun club
night.
Gotta
be really funny if it landed on me.
Just do it.
Yeah, I think it'd only be in sub because
I would rather listen to the dub, honestly.
Hot take of the night, honestly, because a lot of people that I've met have been fans of the sub. Mainly because the memes have become a lot faster.
I am not talking shit about the sub. I'm saying that I love the dub of Demon Slayer.
So since I read ahead, I know what happens. I just can't wait to have you guys be watching Genya when he fights. That's all I'm gonna say. It'll be funny for you guys. But we are. I think we're wrapping up here.
Yeah,
soon-ish.
we'll be calling it. I think we had a good talk about wrestling. Clearly had a lot of fun tonight. Hopefully you guys had fun listening to us. Hopefully we're reaching some new voices after this new advertising push kind of happens. We want to talk to more of you. We hope that more of you reach out to us to sort of, give us new ideas of stuff to talk about, and we would be happy to talk about that stuff. We just need to hear your voices so we can respond with ours.
And for those of you who really, really want to give money to us, I do suggest the car fund. Again, the description. It'll be in the description below. It will more than likely be used as our con rig if I get some personal matters that's surrounding it attended to. So with that, I will be giving people updates and I guess housekeeping at the end a little bit more. I will try to get the first compilation of catch up to people It's just I'm having fun trying to censor images because some people just didn't want their names shown as a donation list. So I might just put donation amounts up. But we'll see what happens. I just want to have a long form video up about what we have done so far with the car. This is it's really at the point where I wish I took more pictures. So a lot of it's just basically in my head, and it would make it a lot easier for editing, honestly. But other than that, if you guys have anything else for tonight.
We really had a lot of fun talking with you guys tonight. I had a lot of fun going to the wrestling show, coming back here and just talking anime. I wish we had a longer anime roundup because I think the anime roundup is a lot of fun to do. But I had a lot of fun, and I appreciate your guys' time, and I will see you next time.
Same, see you around.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say, so bye everyone.
Alright, everyone, stay safe, stay frosty.
Alright, good night and good luck.